I'm drilling out these factory welds. They're super tight. It looks great. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I hope you earned your subscription today. And if you've been a long time subscriber, I have a great update for you today. Yeah, it's a little bit about the Blazer, doing a lot of body work on it, getting the doors and everything fully aligned, the tailgate fully aligned, everything lining up with the quarter panel's really nice. Everything's looking really good there. But that's probably not why you really want to be here, because in just 1 week from today, maybe, the Mustang chassis will be here. I got an email from Scott's Hot Rods this morning saying that it had shipped. They gave me the tracking number and everything. It should take a week to get from Tennessee to here, which means it's going to be next Wednesday, which is fine. That's great for me. I couldn't care less. As long as it's on its way here, it's all paid for, it's ready to go. A couple things I have to do before the chassis gets here is I have to get this thing moved. Got to cut the top on it. I got to get the Mustang moved to this side of the shop. And I'm going to be bringing in that chassis in this side. My 1 ton's still over there. I haven't done anything to the fuel system yet that I still have to do. Just been very, very, very busy. I apologize for not posting, but let's get into this video. Okay. This is part of the rocker box. So the rocker box obviously gets welded back. That's this part here. Gets welded in, and then this is an end cap, and it bolts all over the place. It bolts to the bed sides. It bolts to that transition piece right there that goes from left to right. A lot of heavy duty bolts. I should be able to drive with the top off in comfort now. So this is the driver's side, and this is the passenger side. All bolted in. You see all the other new bolts down there. Pretty sturdy. Pretty cool. All right, so we are really close to being done modifying this bodywork over here. Getting these, I might have to paint this a different color just so you can see it. But we're really great on our gap. We're working on profile, and we're really close. The top here was really bad. I mean, these were really different. I want to show you kind of what I did to get these to line up a little better. So check this out. We drilled out a few of the spot welds, right, to allow this panel to move. And then I needed to move a little bit more, so I actually cut the skin away from the flange, and all this can be re-welded. It's not a big deal. And I cut up here to push this in because this sticks out. Let me show you on the driver's side how bad that is. Walking around the truck and, you know, working on getting all this cleaned up on the underside of the hood. So boring, tedious work. So if you look down here, I'm going to bring the top of this out to match. So that's actually a huge amount of metal that's sticking past. This really isn't lined up very well. This door's a little tiny better as far as profile goes than the other side. But as you can tell, like by the door handle, that's sticking out well past the quarter panel. Actually, all of this is sticking out past the quarter panel. And what I'm trying to work on is this up here. I want this to match, I want this to match, and I want down here to match, okay, when the door is closed at the proper spot. So what we have to work on, and I'm not going to bend this, I'm not going to bend the door in, I'm going to be pulling the quarter panel out. So I'll do the same thing on this side. I'll probably, you know, drill out these spot welds here and pull this whole panel out just a little tiny bit, and then re-tack it in. Roger? As it matches up to the front, this side looks really good as it matches the front door, the fender. Little issues here. The gap here is really, I mean, got a nice good gap here, bad gap here, right? I don't want to pull the cowl in, because then it won't match up here. So if anything, I probably need to extend the door, right? And then here as well. So we'll be adding metal here to make it look better. Now the bottom of this fender has come loose. I haven't worked on this fender at all. As you can see right here, it's loose from the inner brace. The inner brace is not attached. And as a matter of fact, I don't even see any spot weld. Look, there's no spot weld marks here. Was it ever attached? Who knows? There's a large dent right here. So, I mean, and you can tell we're sighting in this way, it's folded in. So this has to be pulled out to line up with the rocker. And then we gotta work on that dent as well. So this fender's gonna need some work, but we're not here yet. I need to get the hood on the truck because I wanna make sure that the cowl's all nice and lined up. I've obviously got the hood, or the fenders are level with each other. We have a big issue here. It's not the same on this side. I mean, these two lines are very, very different. That's significantly off. And I made a mark here, but I want to get the hood on before I do anything with this. Profile's not great either. So this needs work up here. I mean, it lines up with the fender real nice. And again, look at this line here, real nice. And with the door is good. We got a little excess gap here, but I think it's actually the fender, not the door. You can kind of see these things flare out this way. It's really super minor. See how it flares out just a small amount? I think we have the same thing over here. I mean, this gap is great. Look how the door flares. It just comes out just a little tiny bit. It's not straight. Those are the kind of things I want to fix. They're small, but when the vehicle's painted, it'll stand out. So I've drilled out all these spot welds, and I made a little cut here as well, and a little cut here just to try to, I'm trying to shrink up this area here because it's stuck out way too far. Then I used a block of wood on here to hammer it in, just because you don't want to use a hammer straight against it. But it lines up really well with the door now. Like I said, I'm trying to get the door on the front up higher so it lines up with this here. Okay, so I've been having just a nightmare of a time trying to get these, or at least the passenger side. I've already got the driver's side door on. It's lined up, body lines look good. Remember, we had to reposition that skin on there, so that wasn't very easy. It's not for the mild of heart, you know. It's an undertaking, but it fits on there good. It looks nice. The passenger side, while it looked really good on the gaps on the front and on the back, the profile wasn't good. It didn't line up good with the quarter panel. And then on the front, I could not get it up high enough. So as you can tell, you see right here, this hinge is mounted up as high as it would go. And so is the bottom. So it's as high as it'll go. Can't adjust it anymore unless I want to make these holes bigger, which I don't want to do. But this is basically where the door's lining up. As you can tell, that's not where the bend is. Okay, so it's off. It's off by that much. Okay, let me get a tape measure. I'd say it's about a quarter of an, it's hard to tell. It's roughly a quarter of an inch down. Roger? So we're gonna get cutting on this. We're not cutting. We're just gonna be drilling this out. I gotta drill those out. And one reason we're removing these and repositioning them is that these are fixed in the door. These don't move. So even with my hinges adjusted all the way, I still don't, the door still needs to come up a quarter of an inch at least. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna move them down. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to drill out these spot welds. I'll make these holes here a little bit bigger, but I'm gonna move these plates down, top and bottom. That should allow me to move the door up higher. Alrighty, man, we are done moving the hinge points. And I tell you what, I have a lot of adjustability in the door, but right now it is sitting exactly where I want it. Also, it's all good. This profile is much better on this side than the other. So I have a little bit of welding to do, and then we can move on to the back. It looks great. Beautiful. Really shallow dent there. I can't really reach it with a hammer because directly on the inside of this is part of the headlight bucket area. So you're not going to be swinging a hammer at this. Anyway, it looks pretty good. We're getting really close to being hundy on this. An enthusiastic 2 thumbs up. Okay, Andy dog. So remember the stud gun I used a while ago? We're going to use that to work on this. And I'll show you what it has. It has these little, they call them draw pins. These here. Put the proper tip in your gun. My proper tip is, gotta put the proper tip in the gun. It just slides in the end of this. This goes in the end of this, like that. And then what you want to do is find the low spot that you're going to pick. Press it in, hold the trigger for 1 second. And now you have a pin. So this thing comes with a slide hammer, similar to the screw-in types that volcanoed the metal a lot. And I don't really use this. I'll show you what I use. I use a rivet gun with a bracket I made. I think there are actual tools that do this out there. I just made my own. And this works really well. So, just kind of want to pull it. You don't want to over pull it. And then you cut and grind. But I want to put another one here. Not perfect, but it's a lot better than it was. Look at it now. Needs a little filler. Super minor. You can kind of work on that, but these are low spots. So I got this dent out today, which is awesome. We got a couple of dents along here out. Another really big one here. And then the one down here. Looks fantastic. Super stoked. Oh. I do have to work on this gap here, obviously. But that's really easy. You know what I'm going to do there? I'm just going to drill these out. In fact, I have time. Let's do that now. We'll drill these out. Drill these out and pull this out. drilled through. This is loose now. Hold on. It says pre-welding. I think this might have to go in a little. This here. I think that might have to go in there. I like it though. So this is one of the tricks I'm using to straighten this tailgate. And I'm forcing it closed more on that side because that side sticks out when it's closed just a little bit. But I got this piece of angle iron here that's preventing the tailgate from going in all the way. See? So I'm forcing this side over here closed more. Now this thing has a memory. Depending on how long it's been warped or bent, it'll, tell me how long. This is like probably the third time I've done this to try to see if it'll straighten out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a torch. I'm going to run along the bottom on the bent part of the body panel. It's actually brought in the gap at the bottom quite a bit. So we're going to use this regular propane torch here, and we're going to heat this up. The gap closing. I'm going to keep doing that all the way across the bottom. All right, so I heated that up pretty good. And you can see, man, that gap sure closed up when you heat it up. It'll open up again. It gets a little better each time. And now I'm going to just give this here another couple little turns, as much as I think is safe. So I'm going to let that cool for just a few minutes. And then we'll take the clamps off and see how it looks. Let's see if it's stuck. Yeah, I mean, look at, there's still a lot of pressure on this thing. This thing's just coming on out. Okay, bong. That looks fantastic. Let's go. You'll see it for the first time, just like me. See how this side looks? Hey, nice. Oh yeah, perfect, baby. Nice, man. Okay. So that is all for the metal work on this thing. I even filled the holes over for the spare tire. Looks fantastic. I'm really stoked. Really happy. All right, so the next stage on this thing is mud. And you know what I mean by that is we're gonna do filler on this. Because no matter what, there are little tiny things like, these spot welds that need to be filled. All over. There's little shallow dings. There's a big shallow dent in the lower part of the door over here. But hey, really stoked on how we look, man. It's looking fantastic. Look at that gap. The profile is just beautiful. Gap's awesome. I mean, look at, just sight down the truck, man. Hey, look, a dog. Hi, dog. I don't know how much this is going to actually record. So that's going to do it for today's Blazer video. We got the tailgate looking perfect. The little quarter panels here at the end, on the tail lights, between the tail light and the tailgate, they look perfect. Doors look perfect. Really, really happy with how this is coming out. So next we're going to start putting some filler on it. Yeah, I know that's a bad word, but that's our next step. That's what we're going to do. It's just going to make it even smoother and much nicer. So, hey, that's going to do it for today's video. We'll see you in the next one. All right, bye.